I'm 100% believing you.
No,
Because I'm pretty sure
hear,
we've played it.
I hear you.
I don't care what Google says.
No,
Yeah.
even if I
I don't care if I'm wrong.
The internet disagrees with you.
No, I hear what you guys are saying, but we're talking about fighting games.
I definitely believe that we were playing
You
Champions of Nora.
You better get your ass calmed down because we're
too
talking
deep.
about fighting games today, Vincent. We're not talking
too
about
deep.
4 players.
This is a hack and slash isometric RPG role-playing game. Look, I'm sure we were playing Champions of North.
Honestly, I don't even remember us even having Champions of North. I only
You guys
remember
had
only
Champions
having
of
Baldur's
definitely
Gate.
Arms.
had Champions of North
You
because
guys had
everyone
Champions
who
of Return to
owns Dark
Arms.
Alliance for some reason also owns Champions of North.
Anyways,
Aaron
What are we
just,
talking about today?
I'm not even. I don't even feel like giving an intro today. We're talking about fighting games.
Aaron's like, oh no, he's right. It's only up to 2.
I told you.
Aaron's wrong too. Aaron,
Oh
you're
my
wrong.
God.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about fighting games today.
All right. Well, my name's Vincent.
I'm Noons.
I'm Nick.
And I'm also Nick. And as you can see, we're quite heated, just like you will be after our takes on fighting games. This is the S Plus Podcast. And that's a dog. So we're talking about fighting games today. And like for me, I'm going to hit this off. That's where I started playing video games. I don't know if that's where you guys started playing video games, but like playing Mortal Kombat 2 is one of my first memories, and it's on the day that my sister was born, which is weird. Play Mortal Kombat 2.
No shot.
Yeah. But like
Sorry.
play Mortal Kombat 2 is like the first fighting game I ever played. Probably the first game I ever played.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I've been playing fighting games ever since. I suck at Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat feels like garbage, right? Is that just me?
I
Some people really like it.
The early games do, for sure, I think.
Because, I don't know, they had... I think switching... I'm going to say this. I'm a controller guy, not a fight stick kind of guy.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm the only one.
Shame.
But
You
like,
might be the only one.
Shame.
I understand. But like,
I use the little fight stick you hold with 2 hands. And then, right?
I was an arcade cabinet kind of guy.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
You
if
set
there's-
it on your lap.
there's
Wrap
the
that
option,
bad
I'll
boy
do
up.
it.
No, I'm just kidding.
This
I don't
boy
buy
uses
stickers.
tilt controls.
There we go.
Like if
I
there's...
use Wii Motion Plus.
Can we talk about how like
Damn.
in movies, like when they're playing fighting games, like the characters will like... Or like in low budget television, they'll like take the controller and act like it's a motion controller and like jump up and swing the controller
Yeah,
around like
they
they're
like
part
tilt
of
the
combo.
controller all over the place.
It's like,
I
what-
don't
what
think
are
that's
you doing?
them using the controller. I think that's them just pretending to be hype.
Yeah, but it looks
They're just like,
fake.
click, 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 clack, clack. Throw their arms up. Yeah, oh, got him. Yeah, click. And you're like, whoa. Calm down there.
Then you hear like, instead of it saying like fatality or some shit, it's just like a different
Destruction
wording.
combo.
Literally.
It's also some of like
budget.
the most like mild stuff too.
Yeah. It's
Big
like he throws a
kick.
potato. Yeah. French fry guzzler.
Whoa!
I love game name or like usernames in TV shows and stuff. Like
The Legend 27?
Ultimate
Oh, I
Slayer.
love that. Ultimate Player 69420.
Yes.
Blaze it.
Dude,
MLG don't
they
blaze
just made another one like that for when Apex was released on Switch. I forgot the name of it, but it was like Death something 66, and they're like, who is
Death
this
Side.
player? They're just so good that we need to figure out who they are.
No, thank you. I don't need to know who Death Player 66 is because
Death Player
he and I are never gonna meet in a game, and if we do, I'll never know that it's him.
You might.
You're gonna want to fucking look out
What if
for
he
him.
introduces himself as Death Slayer 66.
Yeah, but then he'd have to be on my team for him to introduce himself. You know, he can't.
Unless he's like in all chat, I pwn the noobs leap.
I didn't know Apex had an all chat. When was that? When was
It
that?
doesn't. It doesn't. But the chat glitches.
I can talk smack from who knows how far away.
What if he
Well,
hacked
that was a
the
thing
game?
at one point, I think.
Proximity chat.
No, not proximity. That would be funny though.
Proximity
Like,
chat is a thing in other
Yeah.
battle royales.
Well, it's not. So it's not proximity chat. It's hot mics. So
Yeah.
pretty much whenever you get knocked down or die, there's like a little like 3-second thing where you can just like, talk shit.
Let's talk about the game that started that whole thing. Halo 2.
Let's talk about the game that really started shit talking.
Halo 2 was the best.
Street
While you're
Fighter.
responding,
Street
you
Fighter.
just hear them talking all that trash
Yeah.
and or pissed off.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The game is fantastic.
You had that like
So-
3 seconds that you knew you could just talk shit directly to the guy you just killed.
So, anyways, talking about the Master Chief, what about Killer Instinct? Did you guys ever play that?
That's where Combo Breaker originates.
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Combo Breaker.
Did you
Killer
know
In-
that Master Chief is in the newest iteration of Killer Instinct?
Yes.
It's actually
I did
pretty
not.
solid.
I can't imagine him in that game. I mean, I guess he's kind of stiff looking, right? So like,
Okay, so
that's the funniest thing about Killer Instinct is how stiff they look, and they're just like, their attacks look so funny. Because people do like combos in that game, but it's not like a combo. It's just like, it's just like hitting, I don't know, like
Yeah.
jab 50 times.
so that's how I feel about Soul Calibur.
That's a typewriter fighter if I've ever seen one.
But,
Killer
like-
Instinct, not quite Soul Calibur.
yeah.
But like, could you explain what like a typewriter?
It's like the old Tekken. So
Yeah.
like you have to type in like up, down, left, kick, punch, kick, punch, up, left before you do the combo.
Yeah. you can do it as fast as you want. And the character will eventually do all of the things that you press, but there's no reward for precision and timing.
Yeah.
So would you say it would have like old Tekken would have lended itself more to like button mashers?
Not exactly
No,
button
it's the
mashers.
opposite. It
Yeah.
almost prevents button mashing
Yeah, you can't button mash at all in typewriter fighters.
because you won't do anything.
Yeah.
You'll just look stupid. You'll do like a punch, then a low kick, then like another punch. But like you want the things that flow together, and the only way to get those things are by doing the long combos.
Yeah. So
So
You-
go for it.
I was gonna say you just can't mash out a button until you see it happen. You have to type in the combo.
Yeah. Unless you're Law. Then it's just what? Back diagonal square, and then you do the backflip.
Well, okay, so
you just cheese your way through the game with that bad boy.
Yoshimitsu's is down left circle triangle, down left square, and that's just off of controller inputs. But like that one's like because I played a lot of King and I played a lot of Yoshimitsu growing up, and those two, like even when I look at it now, they don't feel like they're typewriter characters because their combos flow.
Yeah, King. I think King had a lot of grab chains that you have to.
I was gonna say
time.
King is like the least, right?
Yeah,
Because he plays very much like a. I wouldn't say he's not typewriter, but he has like a lot of. He feels like
He has a
in
flow.
between Tekken and like Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything you do kind of is good.
Yeah. So like that's why I find it weird when you guys talk about typewriter being like a Tekken game because I'm like I don't remember it being typewritery, but maybe that's just
Yeah,
me looking
totally.
back on it, you know?
Well, go back Tekken 2 because that's the first one I played, and like trying to get Yoshimitsu to sit down and do that fucking
Teleport.
tap the sword on his heel crap, like it was so long, like, and then you like to do like to spin from that underground and then pop out from behind him,
Yeah.
like some bullcrap.
Down
Like,
left circle.
you're like type all these things into this crazy stuff, and then you have people like Lee, who was like the drunken fight style,
Ooh.
right? So
You
he
had to,
has,
like-
crazy stuff.
You had to change stances mid fight.
Yeah.
Or like
Those are always my
mid-combo.
favorite characters.
Oh, that one's a lot of fun. Yeah, but like, even in I think typewriter fighter games, like you
Go
have
look at the
characters
combo
that just
chains.
flow.
Yeah, I know. I'm not disparaging against fighting
Yeah.
games when I call them a typewriter fighter. I think,
Yeah, it's just the style.
yeah, it's just a style. Like, what the first Injustice game is very much a typewriter fighter. I remember playing Deadshot, and you can type in the whole combo, and then sit back and watch him do it, and then when it's over, you just jump. You jump. That's what you do.
Yeah, to like activate it.
No, that's what you do in that game is you jump.
at the end of the icy.
Yeah.
The game was a lot of fun, but like with the typewriter fighter games, I feel like those ones are very like bombastic in their combos. They're very large and grandiose, and it doesn't feel like they're. It doesn't feel like they flow a lot of the times. It feels like they're very chunky. You
Yeah.
know? And that's why I think I never got into Soul Calibur, which is another, not like a typewriter MMO, but or not MMO, but like fighting game, but something that like, there are very few characters in that game that just flow through their own combos.
That's not true at all. Soul Calibur is the reason I don't like Mortal Kombat and Tekken. Because they're so like, yeah, you gotta take a minute to learn them, but like, you can learn like basic chains, and then once you start like playing around with all like their inputs and stuff, like you can flow all day. Like
Dude,
Taki was my
Valdo?
girl. Like
Your
oh
boy?
my God. Taki, dude, like, dude, she's like jumping all over the place. Like, yeah, that's banana. Now it's a little bit more button mashy, but
I agree.
you can definitely like, you can get like good controlled combos. So that would work.
The first Soul Calibur that I played had Ryu Hayabusa in it, and that was the only character that I played because I was big into Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been
Is that 3 or
PlayStation
4?
3. It would have been 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been 4 because at the time Ninja Gaiden Omega had just come out.
Yeah. And I gotta tell you, I was not into Soul Calibur.
I think you should play 2.
Soul Calibur 2 is definitely
2 is
the
probably,
best one.
in my opinion, the best Soul Calibur.
It is.
While I know that they have a new one coming out, I doubt that it's gonna be any.
Dude, it was so funny when because I remember walking home from school one day, and I like pull out my phone, I look, it's like, oh, Soul Calibur 6 trailer. Like, there's a 5th game. I was like, when did they make the 5th game?
They snuck it past us.
I
I
have
thought they were still supporting 2.
I have 4 and 5, and I think 6 might have just come out, or is it?
6 came out like last year, if not 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's got Geralt of Rivia in it.
Oh yeah, I like crossovers in games, but tell me why Yoda was in the Xbox 360 version of Soul Calibur 5. I didn't need that. No one needed
Soul Calibur
Yoda.
5 or Soul Calibur 4?
Everyone needed
It was
that.
5.
It was
5.
4.
Was it 4? Okay,
It was
then
4 because
Ryu
because
Hayabusa was in 3. Not
because
4.
because Yoda was in the Xbox 360 version of 4, and Darth Vader was in the PS3 version of 4.
And then Kratos was in one of them. Was Kratos in one of them? I don't think so.
I
Am I thinking of the
think
wrong
so.
game? I'm thinking of the wrong.
Maybe
Well, because the PlayStation 2 one had.
it had Link. It had
Well, I didn't mean to say PlayStation 2.
The
I meant to say
GameCube.
Soul Calibur 2.
Soul Calibur 2 has Link.
It-
Who else?
Yoda. Is it Yoda?
No,
Yoda's
that's Soul
in-
Calibur 4.
Yeah,
Okay. Is
Yoda.
it? It's. I thought it. Four.
4 had Yoda and Vader.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
one did 2 have? Because 2 had Link. I know that.
Yeah,
one.
2. So it was Link, Spawn, and
Spawn.
Heihachi.
That is so different. Link and Spawn.
Okay, so
Jesus.
Link was the GameCube version, Spawn was the Xbox version, and Heihachi was the PS2 version.
Okay.
So
That
the
makes-
there's
Second
that.
was big back then.
you guys
but,
want to talk
dude,
about the best
my-
fighting game?
Huh?
You guys want to talk about the best fighting game, PlayStation All Stars?
Thank you.
I've
Oh my
never even
God.
seen the title. I have no
Oh
clue.
my god, that game is
Oh.
great. It is great. It's perfect.
They're
I do not
never gonna
remember-
make another one.
I remember like seeing it in my brother's like list of, or like in my brother's like game collection. I didn't care because I had
Dude, there's,
Smash.
there's a reason why your brother, he just left it there. There's a reason why Aaron just left it there.
Yeah,
I remember
I
talking
have that
to him
game
about it.
unsealed, pristine condition. All right, ready to be resold for billions of dollars.
I
It's a
also
classic.
bought it and played it
I-
for 8
I've never
hours
played that
and
game.
then never went back.
I've only seen it.
Oh, it is not great.
It's not good at all.
I heard it's all right.
It's fine, and they did some network reworking, which they needed to do.
I heard like the mechanics of the game, like the fighting is not bad, but like the mechanics of the game is bad. So like the way you have to kill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like people don't like that, but I heard like the fighting itself is not bad.
No, it's not awful. It feels good when you're doing it, but like while you're playing it, you're thinking Smash does it better.
Yeah, you do.
or
It's hard not to.
Or
Smash
that-
has kind of overtaken that style of fighting game.
or any of the Smash clones on Steam do it better.
Rivals of Ether, dude. That game's pretty fun.
Oh,
I
so
want to
good.
spend some time in that one. But,
Dude, just the Steam Workshop ability for it is just so. That's what opens up the game more. Because obviously you could play like the basic characters, but if you throw like say 100% accurate Fox and Falco in there, it's one of the funnest and funniest experiences ever.
yeah.
Like 100%.
Fox.
So in fighting games, like is there something that you learned playing them that you apply to other games?
What did I learn from fighting games? I don't know. I've learned that like
What I learned in fighting games is
Talk shit, get hit. That's what I learned.
what I learned in fighting games is what I learned in fighting games is. I don't know. I've learned that like there should be like there's counters to everything, right? So like
the rock paper scissors mechanics.
Actual.
Yeah,
There's like
exactly,
actual
like-
counters.
yeah, so like and it's I've also learned it's okay to lose. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
like cuz you know, you're going to go over and over.
I've learned to be pretty snobbish with mechanics, I think, because you kind of have to be in fighting games. I know, like the super high end of it is frame counting and stuff like that. But honestly, fighting games really taught me to actually look into and learn the mechanics of certain systems in the games you want to play.
Yeah. It also taught me like button efficiency, I guess, like
Finger dexterity.
like not necessarily dexterity as much as like being able to like if I throw a putt, like realizing when I'm open because you play other people and you're like, oh, that's when I have a chance. So like being able to like combo and maximize. So like you're like, oh, I punch, but now I'm open here and here. So what do I do to like what's my it taught me to like think about it like that. So like I can either fill in this gap or leave myself open and risk it or like do something like that.
Or
So
change
that's
the
when, like-
combo to be safer.
Yeah, exactly. So like so I've learned a lot of that from like Marvel vs. Capcom because there's like it feels like a lot going on, and like it's like super overwhelming. Like if you've never played, and then like you're playing against someone who's like a god, and then you like get in there and you feel like you can't even move, but then like you learn how to guard and now you can move, and then like. Or you can't even move yet. You learn patience, and then you learn that like, that's how I learned. So like, I learned to guard because my friend was like crazy good, and then I learned to guard obviously, and then you're like, oh, you can guard up and down, and it's like okay, cool, and then because you realize there's an up and down, you're like, oh, so if he goes up and I go down, I can hit him here, and it's like okay, then you can break his combo, just things like that.
Yeah.
It takes time, but.
Learning
Building blocks and a lot of whoop butts.
learning to break people's combos is probably one of the nicest feelings in fighting games. Figuring out how to stop the pressure is like so nice. It's freeing.
Yeah. It's really like when you get to that point, it's like you're right, it's freeing because like when like again like even with something like Smash, if you're playing Smash with someone who just dominates you, it sucks because like you can't move, so you never get a chance to learn, which is why I don't like playing like certain games with people, because like you have to like give them a chance to play, like like you can be like way better and like they can learn on their own time, but like if you're like teaching someone to play, you gotta like give them a chance to breathe. Like you don't have to let them win, but you have to let them move, right?
That's the
Like,
whole reason why I'm a Ganon main, because when I was young, I played against people that really knew what they were doing in Brawl, and so I picked up Ganon because he looked like the big cool guy. But I learned really quickly that Ganon, if you make any kind of mistakes against Ganon, he can really punish you hard and quickly. And so that's why he became my favorite character, because my older cousins, they would just beat the crap out of me. But if they ever messed up, I would, oh, you better believe I would forward tilt and jump and down smash them. Like, it was insane.
I'm a little late to the Smash crowd, but like
I haven't played in a hot minute.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since I really played. And it's been like almost 3 years since like I was in any type of, I would even call competitive shape. But I play Little Mac, and like I was reading up on how to get good at Little Mac, and everyone was like, "You got to be smart or you got to be fast." And I was like, "Guess I'll be fast."
You don't tilt enough. Yeah.
I got better at tilting. Because you told me
like,
that.
you're not tilted. You keep trying to hit me with that charge, you're gonna lose every time, buddy.
No, like after you and I played and you gave me some tips on how to play Little Mac, like I started tilting more and started like mixing it in, and then
it's so funny because like Little Mac can be so easy to read when you first start playing him, because like it's just hilarious. So like watching like you try to like do something, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Because like in your mind with Little Mac, like not you specifically, but like when you first start and like, you know, you're not like adept to like changing up your style really quickly. It's like with Little Mac, there's like two options. You can like throw like a charge side A, or that really fast punch by tapping A, or you can counter, right? So like that's all that's in your head, like when you first start, because everyone wants to land those big hits. But Little Mac is like really good at hitting you with a bunch of little hits. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
yeah,
but
and
it's just funny.
Yeah, no, I like I'm really good at getting stomped on in games until I learn. I'm really good at like muscle memory, and like I memorize combos through accidentally doing them, repeating, and then just mixing them in. And playing Little Mac against you, like, it's hard. Like, playing Smash against you is not easy. Like, when you're trying, it's not easy. And I don't even think you've ever gone, like, full tilt. You know?
Yeah.
But I started, like, messing around, mixing my own combos. You know? And not just focusing on little hits, tilt hits, and possibly spiking. Or knocking people out. Or working on using Little Mac specials. You know, and that's part of fighting games, is like finding new ways to play characters that other people don't. You know, and I have fast hands with a controller. You know, and
catch these hands, boy.
You know, and like it may seem silly, and it may sound silly listening to me play Little Mac with a GameCube controller, because I move around the stage a lot, and I'm just so used to trying not to get hit that it just sounds dumb as hell when you hear the controller.
Yeah.
Well, you just hear rapid clicking from the R button.
I like Little Mac because he's really designed a lot like how a boxer would be designed. You know, he runs around, he's real low. A lot of his strengths come from actually being planted on the stage and not going aerial or anything like that.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like a lot of things like with Little Mac, like people don't expect you to do is like jump and like hit him with an A. Like,
yeah,
what? Like, no, it doesn't do much, but it throws people off a little bit when they see you trying to get off the ground, right? And it's like, but when you're planted, yeah, like you said, like he has the sickest sidestep in that game. Like, it's so quick. Like, it's good.
It feels good. And I think he has a lot of iframes for it too, which is crazy. Because I think there's one at the start and one when he transitions to stop moving.
I have no idea. I don't get that deep. I don't get that deep.
Look, when you get rocked as many times as I do, you gotta get deep.
Yeah, you got to get deep, especially if you're going to commit to a character.
Yeah.
And not just be like, all right, well, clearly Little Max sucks. I'm going to go to Fox or Falco.
Fox is so bad in this game. Like,
Dude, Fox in Melee was just so fun to play. Like, honestly.
Sheik in Melee was
Sheik in Melee,
girl,
also. Sheik in Melee was really fun.
I think I was at your house. This was forever ago. And someone was like, let's play Melee. And I was like, you guys don't want to play Melee. And this is when I was playing Melee on like a daily. And they're like, I bet I can beat you, bro. I was like, you have no idea what you're getting into. And like, I was like, this is when me, Donnie, and Brent were playing Melee literally on the daily. So like, again, I'm not like tournament tier, like wave dashing like crazy man, but to your average community, I'm top tier, right? So like, I was like, you don't know what you're getting into. He's like, I bet I'll beat you, dude. I was like, woo, all right. We go in. I think we just 5-stock no items, and I'm pretty sure I 5-stocked this dude like twice. I'm like,
Oh my god,
you
Vincent!
don't stand a chance, buddy. Like,
Vince, the ultimate anime character. They were like, "Do you want to play Melee?" He was like, "Baka." Omae wa mo shindeu.
Push his glasses up.
it's just so funny because Melee's so fast. So like, I think the hardest part about Melee is gaining that like eye for that speed.
The hardest
like,
part of
everything
Melee
that's going
is going from playing Melee to Brawl. Brawl is so slow compared to Melee.
Brawl is so
For
sluggish.
me, at least. It feels super
Yeah.
slow.
on. Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's not just you.
It is, yeah. Melee's crazy fast. So, like, again, I'm not, like, crazy good. I'm not saying I can beat everyone. But I know most of the time, at least I used to, be able to beat most people. Like,
Vince, let me just wave dash on you real quick.
yeah. See, like,
Melee.
it's just so funny because, like, Sheik is not that good. Like, compared to, like, other people.
Compared to
But the
Fox,
thing is, she
Falco,
can,
and Marth.
air chaining is crazy. So,
Yeah.
like...
Also, being able to do damage using the freaking recovery.
Yeah. So like, just like people like getting hit constantly, and like me dashing left, dashing right, dashing left, dashing right is like so cheesy, but like it works on someone who has no idea what's going on, and then like, when they gain enough damage to go into the air, then you just do what she does, and it's like, okay, you're done. So then
I think Melee taught me how to trust my own hands. You know what I mean? In fighting games.
yeah,
Because the speed, you're not going to be able to, well, not initially you're not going to be able to keep up with the speed on screen. You kind of just have to try to do the button inputs and learn when they work.
yeah,
Because there's like the half jumps that you have to try to get correct in every single string, and you're not always going to be able to tell when you first start
wait
out.
for it to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's really cool too because you kind of like I agree with that sentiment. Like you kind of have to trust. You have to learn the scenario, right? Like you don't know if you're gonna land this like meteor smash, but you got to go for it because he's generally in this position where it might work.
Yeah.
Like one of his options is to come here, and one of his options is to come there, and it's like, okay, well, Yoshi headbutt, boom, will it work? I don't know.
Sometimes you just gotta fucking meteor them off stage. It's
Like you don't have time to wait for them to get there,
dude.
You
Like
have to hope they
like
do.
you can mess up, but if you do it, especially if it's like final stock, it's one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude,
I would
so fun.
Like the best. So Melee had the most like satisfying meteor smashes. I would argue that Smash 4 also had some of the most satisfying meteor smashes too.
Vince,
like, they would
why do you think Alfred's meme for years was forward aerial? Because literally he would just fucking meteor everyone off stage.
like Mario, like when you get his, because he like does like that overhand like
Dude, he
boom, and his
punches
fist gets
downward,
big.
yeah.
You're like, oh, what a beast.
That wind
get
up.
Donkey Kong with that double hand like front flip. Oh.
And then we have Ganon, where he just fucking
Yoshi
kicks you.
with that big
Look, I'm gonna
nose.
say this out there. I'm gonna put this out there. Why does Donkey Kong always got that "Did I do that?" face? Every time he does
'Cause
something,
it's
he's
your
always got this
boy,
face like, "Did
DK.
I do that?"
Did I do that?
It ain't my fault.
Anyways, but like,
This became the Smash episode.
it's
Well, I was
mean,
about
like,
to say
coming back-
something that like fighting games of like they're good at is teaching you how to think ahead. Like that, like even when things are going kind of crazy, it really is still just like
It's like chess.
a chess.
Yeah, I was gonna say fighting games made me a better chess player.
not if I take the chess piece and throw it at your head.
That's a fighting game. Let's go.
Bonk.
There it is.
And-
Now
no,
it's a
but, like,
fighting game.
There's a lot of like really good things about fighting games, and like for me growing up, like my pool of people that I played fighting games with was really really small, and it told me like you can be good at your very small pool of people, but the moment you step out that door and you say, yeah, I play Street Fighter, yeah, I play Smash, yeah, I play Tekken, you're gonna get bopped immediately. Like I thought I could play these games to like a competent level.
Street
then-
Fighter 4 was the first multiplayer that I ever played in a fighting game, and let me tell you what, holy shit, oh my god, I got ruined. I thought I was adequate at the game. As I said in the last episode, I only played Dudley. Oh my god, I got I got rocked. So hard. A real humbling experience multiplayer in fighting games is.
Yeah,
I
it really is.
I just remembered the first fighting game I've ever played. You guys may or may not know it, but if you do know it, you're gonna remember it. It's on the Nintendo 64. It's a little game called Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Yes. So the reason why they named it 63 and a third is because every other game has like 64 at the end. So they're just like, why not 63 and a third? Just as like a meme. And it's pretty much just like it's a very like Killer Instinct type game with like a bunch of characters. It also has a Earthworm Jim in it. That was the first fighting game I've
pretty
ever
cool.
played, and I did not know how to play it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is very weird.
I'm gonna put this
But-
out there.
What?
Nintendo makes the perfect fighting game controllers.
I'm gonna disagree.
No, like okay.
Is that just because
so no,
of
like,
the
I'm-
GameCube?
No, I'm thinking the GameCube's like in my head like a great example, but thinking on it, like Nintendo's controllers have a sufficient amount of buttons that you in your head can map to specific movesets. So Street Fighter, by the way, still hasn't left the high punch, low punch, mid punch in the move list. So you
What's
have
the
to.
alternative to that?
The alternative to that is putting like the actual button mapping, like Tekken and Mortal Kombat and all other fighting games do.
Oh, so you can like put it yourself?
You can't. In Street Fighter, it's always high, low.
That's what I'm
mid.
saying. But you're saying so you can put it yourself.
No. So
On the
basically,
Nintendo controllers.
On the Nintendo controller, in my head, it just organizes itself better because, like, with the GameCube controller, you have the buttons on the top. So, like, I don't have to hit the triggers. Like, I could just treat it like a fight stick.
Yeah.
And that's, in my head, that's just cool. And then I was thinking about the 64 controller, and I was like, you could do the same there. You could just treat it like a fight stick.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about how a lot of Nintendo controllers are like that, where you could just treat it like a fight stick versus a controller.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, I don't know. Sorry, that's my little tangent for today. Will Nick continue about Clay Fighter 63 and a third?
Honestly, I don't even like remember it that much. I just remember how
hilarious.
dumb the name was, and it was a Killer Instinct type fighting game. But
You know what
like
a good
it being a
fighting
Killer Instinct type fighting game oh my god, are the combos just freaking broken? Do over 64 hits in one combo? It's crazy.
That's not good.
They, instead of doing the quote unquote fatalities, they changed it to claytalities. I remember that.
I'm looking at this game right now.
Dude,
This game's
freaking.
hilarious.
It's not a
Who's this
good looking
big
game, like in the slice. It looks
snowman
like
looking
garbage. But dude, the characters are like pretty unique, especially
They're freaking gross.
like what was the name, like Bad Mr. Snow or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And then you have like this bad juju looking guy.
Yeah.
wanna
That
talk-
was the first fighting game I played.
He looks like Tak, if like Tak and Juju, but
Mhm.
if Tak were like evil and old.
Yeah.
And this guy looks like the poop Digimon.
Oh
Superman,
yeah,
but like stretched out and uncoiled.
yeah.
His name's Happy Heron Hongun.
Oh my god.
That's the name of the tag guy. And then you have this big snowman that looks like Olaf if he was on roids. And then you have like this like Terminator bunny. He looks like he's like the main guy in like
Wait,
not the main guy.
You
The
just
guy
gave
in
me a
Mortal Kombat
flashback.
with the green pants and the red headband.
Which
Who's
guy?
that guy? He has like green pants. red headband.
Alex.
Is that his name?
Yes. He wears a green flannel and a red headband,
it's not a
war paint
flannel, like
on his
green
face.
Pants.
Looks like your stereotypical like New Yorker.
He's like wearing no shirt.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
talking about?
Alex.
Yeah, that guy. He looks like him. He has like who's the guy with the robot arm?
Jax?
That
That's
might be who I'm thinking.
Mortal
Jackson Briggs? Is that Mortal Kombat? I'm sorry.
Kombat. Jax is Mortal Kombat. Alex is.
That's what I
Street
said,
Fighter.
isn't it? Mortal Kombat? Did I say Street Fighter?
Yeah, you started describing
Oh, I
Street
meant-
Fighter characters and then asked for a
I meant
Mortal Kombat character.
No, Jax has like the metal arm with the green pants.
Yeah,
With the yeah.
they're
Yeah,
purple
that guy.
now, but
It-
that's not the
It
point.
looks like him, but a bunny. Okay.
That's pretty fresh.
And jacked. I don't know if you guys remember, one of my favorite fighting games, or like one of my most fond fighting games, is Bloody Roar. Is that the name? Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
That game is sick. So
The game
I've
had a
never
lot
played it.
going for it. So, it was like it was a standard 2D fighter. Was it PlayStation 1 or was it 64? I can't remember.
GameCube.
Was it GameCube? Okay.
Yeah. There was one on GameCube.
Yeah.
For sure.
So basically, you could change forms and like have a completely different move set by changing forms. And
It was an amped move set.
Yeah, it was like, it's pretty fresh to see. Like
Bacon. It was basically like a lichen fighter. So everyone had like lycanthropy with an animal. So like
there was a bear.
like one chick turned into a cheetah, one guy turned into a wolf, one guy turned into a chameleon, and so like when you filled up like your rage, right? Then you would bloody roar and then change into your freaking thing, and then now you're like this lichen of your thing, and you freaking go to town. You're like a were chameleon, and you just go to town on your enemy.
I think there was a
That sounds
were
like fun.
bunny. I might be wrong.
Dude, you're right. There was a bunny.
Yeah, no, that one's always funny to watch because it's like, this guy turned into a werewolf. This guy turned into a werebear, and he turned into a bunny.
Yeah.
And
It's really cool. I remember liking that game.
I have to say, like, I like fighting games that kind of buck normal trends in, like, the big three. Like, the big three being, like, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Tekken. Like, games that kind of go against how those are really played.
Whoa, we missed one.
Sorry,
What's
my
that?
bad. The big three. Soul Calibur, Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear. You know, the big three.
Smash.
The big 20. You know,
the big
three.
The big
KF.
Evos.
can't forget about those KF games.
Oh, and PlayStation All Stars.
PlayStation All Stars.
Don't forget PlayStation All Stars.
Can't forget PlayStation.
I heard that they might
Lethal
be making a
League.
second one.
They're not. It's not
They're
happening.
not?
No.
Okay, I thought they were.
I can't believe it.
I'm distraught beyond belief.
Absolutely can't believe it.
I cannot believe that they had the nerve to hype me up with the number 2.
No,
and
they're
not
gonna
follow through.
They're gonna put it on. They're gonna make a second one on PlayStation 5, and it's gonna be RTX enabled, for no reason.
Why not?
It's gonna have Candyman from Lethal League.
Yeah. One of the PlayStation All Stars, Candyman
Nice.
from Lethal.
Candyman from Lethal League, the biggest PlayStation All-Star of them all.
You're gonna be able to play as Kratos and rip Ratchet's head right off his body.
Dude, you
The
can
Dark
already
Alliance
do
Dark
that.
Elf. If that's not a PlayStation icon, I don't know what is.
True. Or
True.
Champions of Norath. Or Champions Return to Arms. Evil Lady. Join the dark side. We have tits.
With 3 of your closest friends. Do we consider Twisted Metal a
Yes.
fighting game?
100%
Yes.
I do.
Demolition Derby games are fighting
I'd
games.
agree with that.
You think so?
I think so.
I would. Yeah.
Or do you consider them like shooters?
You do a lot less shooting and more bashing and fighting in Twisted
I don't
Metal.
know. My
Like,
gun
I mean,
had a-
like,
or
you-
my
you
car
can
had
shoot.
a lot
That's
of guns on it.
That's obviously an option for you to shoot, but like I would say in Twisted Metal, it's like you're saying I'm shooting and that's the only way I get kills. No, you're also bashing and doing all sorts of other stuff. You know. Also, Twisted Metal, those endings really messed me up.
Yeah,
Those
there's
like
some
secret
dark games.
endings. Oh man, like the police officer.
Have you gone back and played Twisted Metal?
Not in the past like 8 years.
They're hard.
Are they?
Yeah. It's not easy to beat those games.
I when I look back on my life, like playing games younger, I was like, I
I
can't
wonder
play
how
them.
I committed to certain
Yeah.
things.
Like I don't get how like I was able to beat half the games that like I beat, because like if I were to go to play it now, I'd be like, no, this game is too hard. Where's the easy mode?
I think about all the accomplishments I've done. Like, I'm like, dude, I grinded this out. Like, really? Like, okay, it's like stupid stuff too. And like, when I'm able to go back and see it, it's hilarious. Like, I popped in Legend of the Dragoon with my memory card, and then like, I looked at like, because I got stuck when I was a kid. I had no idea where to go, and then I opened it like as I was older, and like I had like apparently I didn't purchase any new gear. Like, like that's a 4-disc game. I'm on the 4th disc. Like, and like apparently I didn't like branch out my leveling like often. So like the way you level up is like you use skills, and the more you use skills, you unlock a new one. So you have to switch the one you're gonna learn next.
Mm-hmm.
And I never switched it, so I had like 2 skills for like everyone. And like, I was like, how did I make it this far? Like,
You were a secret prodigy, dude.
like was I just like bashing my head into stuff until I won? Like,
Look, as a serial basher of head into stuff, you can do that. And I remember that's how I made it through most of Final Fantasy X. Is I'm gonna bash my head in until you fall over or I fall over. And
True.
guys,
I swear to God, don't make me use haste, because I will.
it's so funny. I just think it makes me laugh so hard because like I went to the store, I had so much money, and, like, and then I bought a sword, and it was like 10 times more powerful than whatever I was carrying around.
Oh
You know
man.
that broadsword you pick up in the dirt on your way to the title screen. Like,
I remember I did something similar with Kingdom Hearts 1 where like I was too young to understand like all of what I could do. So I just mashed the X button until, things fell over dead. I had no idea that like the whole triangle menu, I never touched it. And when a friend of mine used it, I was like, "Is that a secret? What is that?"
How do I unlock that? Is that like a skill I get? Am I supposed to like what? Where do I find? Is that in like the game, man? Could someone direct me to where I can find that again?
did you ever go back and notice like you had all these AP points? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god, it was an eye-opening experience when he touched that triangle button, and just a menu of options showed up. I was like, "What is that?"
I imagine Little Noons going like, "Wait, that's an option," and then immediately leaving that friend's house and heading home, and being like, "I'm about to beat this game now. I've been stuck for like 6 weeks."
It's ridiculous. Kids are stupid.
Yeah, true. I was a dumb kid.
So for me, like growing up and playing video games, I wasn't very good at taking care of video games because I was really bad at it, right? So my video game collection was like all scratched up and shit, and I feel bad like looking back on it. But like,
real quick,
Kingdom Hearts.
Whenever you set your discs on the coffee table, were they face up or face down?
Wait, which side would be face up or face down?
So face up, or well, the face would be the
Like the
part where
picture?
like the detail is. Yeah, the graphic is.
The graphic would be face down.
Yeah. You had to get the side with all the information exposed, so it wouldn't scratch on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Or you leave it face down so people can't look at it and scratch it up.
Look, I don't know. Look, all right. So, growing up, I tried everything, but like, I learned that if a game is scratched up, it will scratch up on certain parts, and if you can get past those certain parts, you're good.
Yeah.
If I start with it rotated here, by the time we get to the low
No,
screen,
I swear to God, I promise you, dude. I swear to you that if you beat Ursula with a scratched disc, if you don't beat her in a certain amount of time, it's just gonna freeze. I've had to beat Ursula like 40 times before it was like, you can go now.
Before you overcame the
remember when you
scratch.
found out about the button in the PlayStation that keeps the disc spinning?
No.
What?
Wait, yeah, I remember just now.
PlayStation 1, that little button in the corner that sits under the peg. Okay.
What?
Now, do you remember putting baloney in the place?
No!
And spinning the baloney?
No.
No!
You didn't do it?
No, I didn't do that.
Did you do that, Vincent?
It's just so funny. Like,
But
old,
did you
like,
do that? Don't avoid
TV
it.
shows would make the joke, and I'm like, I've done it.
Wait, you've done that?
Of course I've done it. Who hasn't put baloney in their PlayStation 1?
A lot of people who care about their PlayStation.
It's not even that I cared about my PlayStation. I just didn't know that was an option.
Look, the CD is roughly the same size of baloney. You cut a hole out in the middle.
And if I cut a piece of Spam, it could be roughly the size of a Nintendo Switch cartridge.
What?
Who's looking at their PlayStation 1 discs and going, ooh, that looks like baloney. That's,
Apparently,
this-
Vincent.
I was an adventurous child.
Man, this King's
Yes.
Quest disc is making me kind of hungry.
It's not scratched, but it's a little salty.
You know, I can't really put my finger on it. But Dragoon looks different today. Maybe this is why I
love-
can't progress.
Baloney was my favorite fighting game. For the PlayStation 1. And I agree, Spam is the best Nintendo 64 cartridge.
It's perfect. It's the perfect size.
I've never done that because that would ruin everything.
You don't know that. For all you know,
All I know is that the PlayStation, you could open it and see everything, and you could put a disc on top and spin it. I didn't know it was happening with the inner mechanisms of a Nintendo 64 once you shove that cartridge through those flappy discs.
It was magic.
I'll buy a Nintendo 64 just to shove a piece of Spam in there. If that's what we want, if that's what we want to do, I'll do it.
I'll do it. I will do it.
I'm not playing any games on there anytime soon.
Let's talk about
Alright,
the best fighting games ever made, I think.
go.
Budokai Tenkaichi.
Budokai Tenkaichi.
Fuck.
Tekken 3.
Oh my god.
No, get out of here. Budokai Tenkaichi.
and Budokai 2.
Budokai 2. Dude, those games are so good.
Budokai Tenkaichi 2. That art style was just really good. Real
We don't
game
talk
changer.
about Budokai Tenkaichi.
We definitely talk about it on this channel, and I've brought it up. And I'm into it. That story mode was great up until you got to Kid Buu, and that dude was like, hey, you know how you've been bopping everybody? Not today, motherfucker.
Time to get
And
bopped.
I couldn't beat him.
Dude, the best part of that game was the mini game that you could play in the loading screen.
With the old man
yeah.
swinging around.
Mm-hmm.
And that
He's an
was
actual guy.
that's why Budokai Tenkaichi 2 is the best one.
I looked forward to the loading screen in that game because you could play that little mini
so
game.
good. Dude,
I can't remember if
Tenkaichi was
there's
crazy.
two people and you both spin the controllers and you both get them fast enough. Like if you're spinning 4 analog sticks at the same time,
Yeah,
he takes off.
he does.
It's freaking great. I remember playing Budokai 2 a lot because I had it on I had it on PlayStation 2, and like I was living in like a place where like that's all I did was like play PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So like I played that game every day, in and out. And this is the kind of determination like I don't have anymore. And like I unlocked every character, I did everything with everyone. Like I beat that game, traveled that map a bajillion times, and like I did everything. And then like going to Tenkaichi, going from that 2.5D fighting to like 3 dimensions, it throws you off. And like when that game came out, I think I was 13. So like the first
Tenkaichi?
battle in that game,
Tenkaichi came out in 2004. 2003,
Okay.
2004.
so I was 11.
Yeah.
Close enough. So oh yeah, that fits better. But the first person you fight, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly on Tenkaichi, is the big monkey.
Yes.
And I'm literally just getting mollywopped because I have no idea how to play this game. Like, they just throw you in, like, well, 11-year-old me. They just throw you in, expect you to learn the buttons, and just, like, read directions like crazy. Like, bananas. So, you go and you freaking fight this monkey. You're getting mollywopped the whole time, dude. And then you finally beat him after, like, 3 days or something like that. And then you have another fight. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, that game was brutal. But once you learn it, dude, fighting your friends in that game,
so good.
sit down.
Dude, okay, so growing up, I'm sure this is not going to be a surprise to anybody, but I was real bad at games. And I also was real bad at remembering where my memory cards were when I would like move my PlayStation from my mom's house to my dad's house.
Glad your parents loved you and bought you a memory
wait,
card.
you had a memory card growing
No,
up?
exactly. So here's
Someone
the
was
thing. Here's the thing.
spoiled.
Like I'd lose them and have to replay a whole game from start to finish.
Oh,
And
that's funny. I had to do that every morning.
oh my god, get over yourself.
Y'all making me feel bougie. I used to have one of those like little binders that you kept your memory cards in.
Oh my god.
Are you
Spoiled
serious?
for days.
Yeah, dude.
It took me so much work to convince my dad to get me a PlayStation 2 memory card. Like, I was like, he's like, why do you keep leaving your PlayStation on? I'm like, Dad, I cannot start Jack and Daxter for a 58th time.
I can't start the game over.
Like, please, a memory card. If I have to spin jump on this baby island one more time, like please.
If I gotta
don't
hear
wanna
do
do
do do do do do do do do do do do do again,
Memory
I
cards
swear
were
to
a
God,
lifesaver.
it's. By the
this.
way,
So go ahead and keep bragging. Go ahead. I didn't
So-
mean to interrupt.
yeah, no worries. So I lost my memory card, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna play some Budokai Tenkaichi because like, it's a game where starting over doesn't really bother me that much because I'm gonna be fighting anyways. You know, like I'd like to have all the characters unlocked, but it's not that big of a deal. And then I played through the story, and I beat Frieza finally, and that was like enormous to me. Like after beating Frieza, nothing could stop me. And like that's how I felt. you know, as like a 9-year-old kid bopping on Frieza. And then I immediately go to my brother and I was like, I beat him. He said, yeah? And he shut off the PlayStation.
Dude, your brother's an asshole.
All right, and we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, that's the worst, dude. That's why memory cards are so important.
I didn't have a memory card for the Xbox 360, and then when I finally did, someone lifted up
Yeah,
my
but
Xbox and snapped the memory card.
The 360 has a little bit of internal storage.
It
Little
doesn't
bit.
have enough to save games.
Yeah, it does.
No, the original Xbox 360 did not have enough to save games.
No, yeah, you needed that. You needed
that
that.
stick thing. That was extra. I'm pretty sure you could still save. It wasn't a lot.
You could save games. You couldn't
No,
really
no,
download
you could
games
not save.
or anything.
Like, you could not save for certain games.
No, you definitely could.
I promise you. Like, I've had
'cause-
to leave an Xbox on.
No, because it has a big hard drive on the top.
Not
No,
all of
no,
them
if you
came
didn't-
with that.
Yeah, the first ones didn't come with that, and those were like,
Xbox 360?
They,
yeah,
no,
you could.
yeah, the first Xbox 360.
That was an
The
expansion.
first Xbox 360 did not come with a hard drive, and you had to pay
don't
$125 for it. And the memory card was $75.
Yeah, for 250 megabytes, by the way.
Yeah. So, like, you couldn't save games when you bought an Xbox 360. So you had to play every game all the way through. And I don't know if you know that or know this, but Xbox games are a lot longer than PlayStation 2 games. And a lot of different, like... I had to play all of Assassin's Creed in one sitting. That's insanity.
But man, when I got that 1 gigabyte hard drive that you slot into the top, whoa, that was a game changer. Yeah,
Yeah, I never
literal
got
game
one.
changer. Never.
Never. I never got one. No. So what happened is that my Xbox 360, like, I went to go move it, and when I lifted it up, I bent the memory card and snapped it in half.
Are you lifting it by the memory card? Like,
No, like,
how
I
does that
lifted it
happen?
up. I can't remember what happened, but like I lifted it up, and I
I
somehow
put one
like
foot on the
snapped-
back end.
No, like I don't remember how I did it, but I ended up snapping the memory card in half while it was still inside the Xbox. And then after that, I had to play every single game like I was before in one sitting or leaving it on. And I don't know if you know this or not, but the internals of an Xbox 360 don't take being on all the time very well.
No.
And after a few weeks of doing that, red ringed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, guess I'll just go back to PlayStation 2 then.
I nailed my Xbox into the ground. I took a crowbar to the other side, and I began to lift it for leverage
By the memory card.
by the memory.
I'm gonna say this:
I'm trying
the
to-
ultimate fighting game. And I'm just gonna let you guys know. The Xbox 360 in my hands.
That's the
The
ultimate fighting game. Yeah.
Right
I
there.
agree. Baloney in the place.
Oh.
What about fighting games like J-pop superstars?
You mean J-Star or J All Stars?
Yeah,
Right.
J-pop superstars. I said it right.
You know, like Jump Start. You know, like Shonen Jump.
Like Akiba Strip.
You know, like like Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, I thought you were going to stop at Tokyo. The ultimate fighting game.
Tokyo. World War II, the ultimate fighting.
Nothing gets you going like a class system.
Oh, no.
And
Nothing
I don't
gets you
mean
going
picking
like
your class.
baloney in the place.
Oh. Anyways, I'm Nick,
I'm also
I'm Moons.
And I'm Vincent.
and we'll catch you later.